Tori.
Hi, I'm Ryan.
And today we're going to be teaching you how to make Primal Cordon Bleu with mashed cauliflower covered in stewed tomato gravy. So first we are going to make the cheese for the Cordon Bleu.
First step to making the cheese for the Cordon Bleu. Have a piece of delicious bacon. This is a good idea.
Yeah. This goes too fast.
Yeah. Hopefully, while making this recipe, we'll have more bacon breaks.
Sounds good to me.
Now that you've finished your delicious piece of bacon, wait.
Still licking my fingers.
Wait.
Okay.
Now that you've finished your delicious piece of bacon, we're going to start by making the cheese. Now, we're going to be using homemade kefir that we created using raw milk. First, you're going to start with a strainer, preferably something that is not aluminum. Plastic is best, but we couldn't find one. Place that inside of a bowl along with a couple of lengths of cheesecloth. Take your kefir, go ahead and open it up. And you're going to be pouring the kefir out into the cheesecloth. Now you want to do so slowly. And we do this first because it does take quite a long time for this to go all the way through. So we're going to be placing this behind us as we're doing this, and I'll periodically pour a little more kefir in.
Alright, so next we're going to combine all of these ingredients to make our stewed tomatoes. We're going to have 3 cups of fresh diced tomatoes, a half a cup of diced onion, a half a cup diced whatever green chili you like. We used Anaheim. A tablespoon of basil, a tablespoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of ground mustard powder, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, and 2 to 3 or 4 tablespoons of delicious animal fat. It's good stuff. There's bacon in there. It makes it 100 times better.
So we're going to be combining all of this into a pot and simmering this on the stove. Once it starts to simmer, you're going to be dropping it down from high to low, and we're going to be running that for about an hour in total, so all of the juices just mix together perfectly. I want to do the bacon for that. Okay, I'm going to get a spoon because some of that, yeah.
Go kind of like a mad scientist. Did you get all of it? Come on. Okay.
Fantastic. Next we're going to get the chicken ready so that we can put the bacon inside of the chicken, which is really the whole point of this recipe. Now that we're back, we're going to be making the chicken Cordon Bleu portion of the recipe.
So we're going to start with 1 pound of a skinless, boneless chicken breast. We sliced this one in half, kind of butterflied it. This is only actually a half a pound here. But we also have 3 slices of bacon that have been cut in half. And we have our kefir, the cheese that we got from the kefir. We have 3 eggs that have been whisked, 1 cup of walnuts, 1 cup of almonds, and 4 garlic cloves that have been minced. We also have some flour here. This is half coconut flour and half rice flour. And then we're just going to be adding some salt, some pepper, and some oregano to taste. So first, we want to pound this out until it's about 1/4 of an inch thick. So we're going to use our little mini Thor hammer. It's my mini Thor hammer.
Okay. Once you have that pounded out nice, you're going to be taking your 3 strips of bacon, which is really just, oh, I could eat it right now, but I know we have to cook it first. and placing them inside of the chicken breast. Then take the kefir cheese that you made from before, scrape it out of the cheesecloth, and go ahead and mix it over. Now this cheese is very tart and flavorless alone, and so what you'll want to do is put a little bit of some pepper on with the cheese, and we're just going to kind of mix it in as Tori puts that on there, as well as a couple of pinches of salt to give that a little more kick. And last but certainly not least, we're going to be adding some oregano.
And just to clarify, we're putting maybe about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of cheese on this.
Maximum.
I mean, if you like cheese, go ahead and feel free to put some more, but... Okay.
Okay, now that we've done that, we're going to go ahead and mix in the rest of our garlic here. Now, you may not want to use the full 4 cloves. We already made one of these in advance just to make sure we could do it right. And so, this is probably only 2 cloves by now.
Okay, so we're just going to roll this up. And then we're going to use some toothpicks to hold it shut. You're just going to stick that right through the edge. Not through my finger.
I missed your finger. Stabbing each other is not considered a primal-friendly activity.
No. Well, no.
It depends on if you have to chase them.
Okay, so we're just closing this up so it doesn't come open while we're rolling it or baking it or whatever. Okay, so
we're going to be taking a round just pan here. It's completely empty so that we can dip in all of this, as well as a small, what appears to be a baking dish that we're going to be putting the egg in so that we can dip the chicken and cover it completely.
Really just anything that's big enough to work. So we actually, while he puts that flour in that dish for us, we're going to chop up these walnuts and some almonds until they're pretty fine. We want kind of a fake breading here. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Alright.
There we go. Now that we have our breading, we're going to be taking this gorgeous little piece of chicken here that has been filled with chicken and placing it inside of this pan. Now I'm just doing my best to cover this as much as possible in this flour, just like you would bread anything else specifically. So now that that's for the most part saturated with this flour, now once again this is half coconut, half rice flour. We're trying to keep this as primal friendly as possible. We're going to be dipping this in the cup of, or rather baking dish, filled with eggs. And you're going to have to flip it around if you use a small baking dish like this. Oh. Look at that. Now this is really nice and icky, so even though you've got these points on the end of here, this is actually a really fun activity to do with kids, so long as you don't mind cleaning up the entire house, which will be covered in egg following. So yeah.
And then we're just going to roll it in our nut mixture, just until it's coated.
Now that we're back, we're going to get started on the mashed cauliflower. So to pretty much summarize, this is what we have here.
So we have 1 head of cauliflower. You're going to chop it up into little pieces. You're going to put it in a pot for steaming or just some other steamer that you have. This has holes on the bottom. We like garlic, so we're going to use about a tablespoon of garlic powder. You can use less or more depending on your preferences. Salt to taste, and 1 to 2 tablespoons of clarified pasture butter. We're going to take this, put it on top of our pot for steaming. This water's already boiling. And you're going to let that steam for about 10 to 15 minutes.
I feel like a helper. Considering that we have about 10 to 15 minutes, we're going to mix some stuff up and then take a bacon break. So we'll just mix the salt and the garlic together to make a garlic salt. I guess we're trying to take time, right?
Yeah. Okay. Whoa, too much. Too much. Not supposed to have that much salt. That's not mashed out, remember?
Oh, okay. We'll just speed this up. Okay, hi, we're back. Now that the cauliflower is finished steaming, we're going to go ahead and blend this up so that it becomes mashed cauliflower.
We're just going to stick it into a high-speed blender. And we're going to add our spices. So our garlic and our salt and, oops, and our butter. So there's our butter. That should melt in nicely now that it's like all nice and hot. And then our garlic. Okay, and then we're just gonna add just a few pinches of salt here.
Okay, now that we have the cauliflower completely mashed in the blender, we also have our chicken cordon bleu just about done in the oven, and the tomato
gravy
ready for the most part. We're going to go ahead and make the sauce that goes on top of the cordon bleu. So we have
2 cups of kefir made from raw milk. We have a half a cup of ground cashews. About a teaspoon of garlic powder, a tablespoon of parsley, and salt to taste. So we're just going to mix these all up. We're just going to put this on the stove to simmer until it thickens.
Okay. Well, once that's done thickening, which you should be able to tell because it'll stick to the spoon as you're dripping it out. Once that's done thickening, we'll go ahead and show you what we're finished with, and so we'll be right back. Well, now that we're completely done, here's the final meal.
We have our chicken cordon bleu with our fake Alfredo sauce with our kefir and our cashews. We have our mashed cauliflower with our stewed tomato gravy. So yeah, we're ready to eat this.
Now Grok would not use a knife and fork, but I am so excited to have it. Well, I'm guessing it's good then. I don't know yet.
It's good.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had chicken cordon bleu in years.
I know.
This is good.
Mm-hmm.
Hey!